So that pretty much confirms to me that VAUSH doesn't actually care about advocating for trans people and just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a fucking dingus. I won't tell you to publicly shame him though, because unlike VAUSH, I would never sink to that.
This is necessary, okay? Publicly shame her.
Things like death threats or misogynistic insults, I don't support that, and I've called it out in the past. Like when the leftist streamer VAUSH, drama alert, who is not trans, tweeted at JK Rowling, "Women be quieter and start apologizing challenge." I called him out, tweeting, "Doing edgy ironic misogyny while defending trans people magnifies the grain of truth in what TERFs say about there being misogyny in trans activism."
To be clear, Contra says, I call out people when they do bad activism. And by bad activism, I mean they go too far, right?
Yeah.
And then she has an example of VAUSH. The problem isn't with VAUSH isn't that he went too far. The problem is that he's being a hypocrite.
Right.
And he's making the movement look bad. So this is a terrible example of the situation that Contra is trying to say. He's not calling VAUSH out
down
for
her house.
Right. She's not calling VAUSH out for saying, you know, oh, we should burn down your house or whatever.
I tweeted that because I recognize that if people who are claiming to speak for you are doing so in a misogynistic way, and if you let that slide, you're going to wake up one day to find that you're in a misogynistic movement. Of course, VAUSH took the criticism really well, explaining that actually, I just didn't understand the complex tactical arguments for the moral necessity of being
Wait, let me read these.
Of course,
VAUSH says, with respect, the arguments you give in your video support my position here. And with all the associated context, this site really isn't the best place to speak on it with nuance. I'm extremely confident you'd agree with me if you were fully caught up.
Wow, that's condescending.
Oh, no. Contra responds, it just strikes me as off that you're extremely confident. You definitely know better than a trans woman who's been doing this activism for over a decade. And it kind of compounds my discomfort with the, quote, women be quieter tweet.
Boy, putting VAUSH in his place there.
Oh, man.
Slap him back.
Yeah, so basically, Contra just said, if you didn't catch that, Contra saying, your ironic misogyny seems less ironic when you try to quiet a trans woman.
Yeah, when you mansplain me.
Yes, yes. And then VAUSH says, is that really your argument? That I, by the way of being cis, couldn't possibly be correct in a disagreement on trans issues with a trans person? I was always under the impression you valued the quality of the argument.
Oh my. Wow. How can VAUSH even say that? Doesn't he know that it's all about a standpoint epistemology? Jeez.
Of course. And intersectionality, yeah, which he leverages to his benefit when he can.
Well, by saying that he's gay, even though.
Right.
Sus.
This is when he started to say he was gay, just to try to like deflect.
You're right.
From heat from his JK Rowling thing.
Right.
Yes.
The moral necessity of being sexist to JK Rowling. And why I do it again.
Well, it's so stupid because, like, you know, is VAUSH going to sit here and he's going to call, I don't know, who's that black guy you think should be vice president?
Tim Scott?
Tim Scott, yeah. Is VAUSH going to sit here and call Tim Scott the N-word? And then people jump on him. He's going to be like, no, the moral necessity of being a racist to Tim Scott. Like, obviously he knows that's not going to fly.
Of course not.
Because, like, there is actually no argument for this.
VAUSH is a sophist all the way.
Yeah.
This
well, no,
is straight up sophistry.
Right. He is a sophist who just likes to be a shithead and try to justify it after the fact.
Yep. Here's the argument why you should all be sexists. What a great role model VAUSH is.
Listen,
look, as long as you're sexist against your mortal enemies, then everything is great.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's like literally socialism, collectivism. It's like if they have the wrong opinion, they're not really part of the group, so you can leverage whatever negative group association you want against them.
Yeah. Yeah, the rules don't apply.
And then he accused me of cancel culturing him while at the same time literally telling his followers to publicly shame me.
The more viewer in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is necessary, okay? publicly shame her into changing her mind on this.
Then bringing up my past struggle with addiction.
Move you off this site and into... I don't want to bring up the substance abuse.
So that pretty much confirmed to me that VAUSH doesn't actually care about advocating for trans people and just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a fucking dingus. I won't tell you to publicly shame him though, because unlike VAUSH, I would never sink to that. The point I'm trying to make is, I have no qualms about calling out people on my side whenever they go too far or cross a line, or do stupid tweets and then mansplain to me about how I don't understand tactical misogyny. Idiot.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.